There is this incredible delusion in India that most Israelis and most Jews love India the way Indians love Israel.
No, this is why I'm always saying that. You guys always love to say how much you love Israel, and we love to show how much we love India. For example, we love to travel to your country. A lot of our music has Indian influence in them, so I think we're more about the actions. But that's just us. But if you want to try to say that we don't like your country, go ahead, let's hear what you have to say.
This is delusion. This is a delusional belief, right? It is not the case. Now, we have seen the example of one person, Nadav Lapid, who clearly is very strongly anti-India. He comes to India as an honored guest, and then he indulges in this sort of behavior.
But he's also anti-Israeli, so that's ridiculous.
I assure you, he's not the only person who is an India hater or strongly anti-India. There are many such people. Like in any nation, there will be anti-nationals and people like that. So there will be many other Israelis also like this. Let me give you a different example, a historical example.
No, why historical example? I don't understand this. This is just like, okay, I saw the comedian Veer Das, okay? I really enjoyed his comedy, and then people told me, you know, he's an anti-nationalist. You know, he hates India. And I didn't know it. So based on, like, if I only knew one person, I can say all comedians hate India? No, right? So what are you trying to compare now? I'm so confused. Like, this is, I thought I would be like angry at one point, but I'm just like really confused about what conclusions he's trying to get. And the Does Israel Loves India reality check for Indians, the title, is just like, I'm really confused about what you're trying to say. Are you trying to cause drama between Israel and India? Are you trying to say that we don't like India? That's your point. As a geopolitical person or whatever, honestly, I don't like geopolitical things, but you can clearly see this is not working for you because civilians are talking to each other and they can hear the reality when we talk to each other, not when our governments are talking to each other. We don't care anymore what our government is saying us, to who to love and who to hate and all that. We're communicating, we're talking. Your government did not acknowledge Israel, and still Israeli people still love India, even when your government told your people to not like us. So what are you trying to do? If you're honestly trying to make Indian people hate Israel right now, or be wary and suspicious about Israelis people that are flying to your country, why? What's the end game? What's the tachlis? What are you trying to do? Let's just like, okay, this is a long video, but let's continue.
Of not somebody who's anti-India, but a different kind of person. So first of all, you all know, I hope you all know if you've been watching my channel, about what happened to the Romani people at the same time as the Holocaust was happening in Europe.
They also were a part of the Holocaust. People tried to murder everyone who's not from the Aryan race or try to enslave them.
The Nazis, under the direction and leadership of the very evil person Adolf Hitler, murdered I don't know how many million Jews. We know that. This was an extermination program. It was a genocide. And this did not happen only to the Jewish people.
No, of course not. We never said that it's just like only Jewish people. Also, everyone who was not in the same party got killed. Also, everyone who was part of the gay, lesbian, bi, stuff like this, they were also killed. The Rumi's people were killed. Like, it's not, we never said it's just us. We said that we're focusing on our pain.
It happened to the Romani people as well. The Romani people are of Indian origin. They're Indian origin people who live in Europe, who have been persecuted horribly in Europe for 1,000 years. Incredible racism and persecution against them, which still continues today. The Romani people. So the Romani people were also targeted for annihilation by the Nazis because the Romani people represented the inconvenient fact that the true Aryans are not white people with blue eyes and blonde hair. The true Aryans are brown people, like the Indians and the Iranians, right? So the Nazis sought to exterminate the Romani people as well. This is a fact. See on the screen, historical amnesia, the Romani Holocaust. And we don't even know how many Romani people died because nobody has bothered to look into this matter because the Romani people are brown people, they don't matter.
What? I'm sorry, why do you think the Jewish people know how many Jewish people lost their life there? Because we looked, we searched for our brothers and sisters. I don't understand that. You can also do the same thing. You can actually go and search in the records. They have the Nazis did a really good job keeping records of everything, of every person they killed. You can go and search that. You're complaining about the fact that that your people didn't do a job, like that you didn't look that up. Why is it everyone else's fault that you guys were too lazy to see what happened to your brothers and sisters? And how are you trying to blame me for that also? Wait, let's see.
They are gypsies, right? So a whole range of figures are thrown around, from 20,000 to 200,000 to 2 million. We don't know how many people died, because no historian has really bothered to investigate this properly, systematically, with facts and data.
Okay, guys, let's see you doing that. Also, that is terrible. I do acknowledge the fact that million people died. Not only Jewish people, like I said, this is terrible, and this is why we need to make sure people will not be so pro-nationalist and against and like full of hate to everyone else. This is why conversations between people are so important, because the second you get to know other people and you realize that bottom line, we're all still humans, then things like this will not happen. The fact that people are knowing each other and can say, yeah, I know he looks different, I know he has a different language and stuff, but he's still my friend, or I still know who he is. It's less possible that you will hate someone if you know who that person is. Like, and the Romy, whatever happened to them was also terrible. Whatever happened to them, the same thing that happened to us. This is absolutely terrible.
But it is a fact there was a horrific Holocaust of the Romani people as well, right? The Romani people call it the Porajmos or the Kalitras or whatever. They have their own word for what happened to them. It was horrific. There are so many stories in there which I will not go into today, but there was a Romani Holocaust. Now, there is a section of Jewish people, not only Israelis but Jewish people, who belong to what is called the uniqueness camp.
So now he's talking about the entire Jewish people, not just Israelis.
The uniqueness camp. The uniqueness camp is a school of Jews who have the view that the Nazi genocide of the Jewish people was unique, and that the killing of the Gypsy people was a mere afterthought, which means that the Jews are special, and the real thing, the main thing was the unique thing was the killing of the Jews, and the killing of the Gypsies was merely an afterthought. It is not to be taken very seriously. This is called the uniqueness camp.
Okay, this is what actually happened. When, first of all, if you read Mein Kampf, if you actually listen to Hitler's speeches, if you actually you can Google images of things that happened back in the day, you could see that there are a lot of signs of like when he came on top and like when Hitler became the prime minister and whatever, a lot of stores put signs of no Jews and dogs allowed to this store and stuff like this. Every woman who slept with a Jewish man had to have walk with a sign, and people made fun of her. This is something that happened to us before the Holocaust, before they started to kill us systematically. Did the same thing happen to the Romani people? No. Now, I'm not saying it happened afterthought, like their murder was like afterthought. However, yes, the Jewish people were not, and if you're trying to say like we were special, but we were special by people trying to kill us, do you want to be special like that? What are you trying to say? And also the fact that you're now talking about the title of the video is Does Israel Love India? And now you're talking about Jewish people in general, all over the world. Now, I don't know if you're trying to be Kanye West right now, but this is really spiraling. This is going really, really weird. And I don't know when the bottom line will be, but that is just weird.
And the proponent of the uniqueness camp was a person called Elie Wiesel, or Wiesel. I don't know what the pronunciation is. It's not important. Who was Elie Wiesel? Elie Wiesel was the face of the Holocaust. He was an extremely famous and prominent writer, professor, political activist, and he was awarded the Nobel Prize, the Nobel Peace Prize. Right? He authored 57 books and so on. He was a Romanian American writer, professor, and so on and so forth. So this person was the originator of the uniqueness camp, and the thing about this person, he is an extremely famous person. He wrote so many books. People repeat his quotes even today. I am sure even I must have put up one or two of his quotes on my Twitter account. very influential person, very famous person, and he tried to suppress what happened to the Gypsy people. Yeah, here's an article here. The Nazis' extermination of Gypsies was nearly as complete proportionally as the Nazis' extermination of European Jews. And yet the commemoration of the Gypsy victims of the Holocaust has never come even close to the memorialization of Jewish victims. And this is a well-known fact. And the principal opponent of this was Elie Wiesel, right? Here is an... the Gypsies were lobbying for representation on Holocaust Memorial Council in 1986 in the United States. And this council was, I believe at one time headed by this person, Elie Wiesel, a Jewish person.
So now you're trying to make people hate Jewish people because one person did one thing that you don't agree with. Really? Interesting.
Article by Ian Hancock, the first Romani person to ever acquire a PhD, in which he speaks about the role of Elie Wiesel in all this. Yeah. Wiesel has steadfastly maintained an exclusivist position regarding the definition of the word Holocaust, interpreting it as referring to the fate of the Jewish victims alone, and so on. He has the word has never once been used in the councils or the museum's documentation in connection with the Romani people, not even in the program for the Romani Day of Remembrance and so on.
Okay, so let me be perfectly clear, because I know some people might twist my word, right, Abjit? I totally know that everything that happened to the Romani people, everything that happened to the gay people, everything that happened to people who are not from the Nazi party back in the day was terrible, and they suffered the same thing that we suffered. And what that person did, not acknowledging their Holocaust, is wrong. However, we're talking about everything that happened before. And I told you, like, did you have signs that no Romani allowed to enter the store? Because they had a lot of signs like this for Jewish people. This is why they're saying that thing. It's not just like we have our own Holocaust, go away. This is just like how I can say that the Turkish people did a Holocaust to the Armenian people. Do you understand that? Now I'm saying this. One person can say something else, but you're trying to show how you're trying to make it look like the Jewish people hate India and Indian people. Several times you tried to show it, which is not true. And you can clearly see it by people actually coming to your country. So I'm really confused about what you're trying to do, why you're trying to benefit from it. But yeah, this is just I told you, I thought I'll be annoyed, but this is just entertaining. This is funny. His claims are ridiculous, and this is why I'm not even angry. I'm just this is amusing. I feel like he's about to say every moment he's about to stop and say, guys, it was just kidding, you know? But I don't see him doing that, which is weird.
And so on. So this person tried to suppress what happened, and he has, see, the main thing is that victimhood is privilege. And Elie Wiesel was of the opinion that the Jewish people are the privileged people, and the Romani people do not deserve any commemoration. And the consequence of that is that we still don't know to what extent the Romani people were exterminated.
So search. You have the exact same database that we have. The exact same thing. I told you, the Nazis did a really good job writing every person they killed. Search that. Don't sit and complain why other people didn't do that. Act, or stop crying about other people not acting.
In Europe, during the Holocaust, during the genocide that was perpetrated by the evil Nazis. Yes? So this is one example. I am not saying all Jews are like this, but please open your eyes to the fact that there are all kinds of people in the world.
Not all Jewish people are like this, but here's two people that I will talk about them for more than 30 minutes. What's your game here, Abjit?
Right? And there is this camp, this school of thought among the Jews, this uniqueness camp.
Okay, there's also this camp about Indian people that says that you are the superior civilizations, you're the ancient civilizations, and this is why you're better than anyone else. Every time I'm showing you guys symbols and spices and words and stuff, you're always saying, oh, this is just like Sanskrit, this is just like this is just like that. You're trying to always, some people, I'm not you, I'm sorry, I'm really amused, so I'm trying to some people in India are saying that the rest of the world is not, a superior just like the Indians. This is happening to every single person in like this. This can be in every single country. There will always be those people that claim that they are better than anyone else. So what's your point? And why are you not showing also? Why do you not compare it to the people in your country? What are you trying to do? Something that I feel like I ask so many times. Like, what's the end game and what are you trying to do?
That the world must only commemorate what happened to the Jews and forget about what happened to the Romanis.
We never said that. Don't say people stop twisting my words when you're saying stuff like this. This is like so not true. Like, what? Seriously? Who said that? No one. We just said we want to focus on our own thing. Yes, that what that person did long time ago was wrong. You know what? You can fight back. You can try to make it again. Go ahead. Try to have a Memorial Day. You're not going to do it, right? Because it's easier just to say, something bad happened one time, I'm not going to do anything about it. Why?
The killing of the gypsies, the Romanis, was a mere afterthought. It is not very important. Yeah?
No, no one said it is not very important. Come on. Stop. No one said that. This is wrong.
Jews are privileged, others are not.
I don't need to like twist your words. I'll just need to press the pause every time you say something ridiculous. Dude, I really respected you. What happened?